Hello guys and welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. From where we left off last time, we had just finished the bloody annoying shite that is the... Hello HK, the sub-base. We just finished that and we've now come back up to the surface. We're now back on Mannan in Otto's city. So now we have to complete this side quest. So I need to talk to this guy, and then once we've done this, any little side quests. Right, what do we have left to do? Don't think we have much. Shin's brother. I need to talk to him again eventually. Yeah, I think it's just him. Yeah, after we've done that, we get back to our ship and we head to Mannan. Not Mannan, Korriban. So let's get going. Oh, that's not the mission I'm meant to do, is it? Yeah, it's you. Oh well, I done that one mistake.
Statement. Oh, Master, I'm so very disappointed in you.
Wow. Sometimes helping people feels pretty good, you know?
Yay, let's say points. Okay, that's the ones I'm meant to do. So, now we can move on, get off fucking, I almost said Taris, because there's another planet you don't want to be stuck on. Mannan, let's get off Mannan and get fucking onto this and get to Korriban. Question is, where do we go? I'm sure it's this way? Question mark? Yeah, it's this way. So once we get to Korriban, we're going to be surrounded by Dark Jedi, blah 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 blah. All that shite. I'm sure it's here. Yeah, because it's through here, I'm sure. Excuse me. Yeah, it's through here. In fact, I'm gonna give it a quick save. Since we've done those two, I just... Oops. And I don't want anything to fuck up, because if it does, I'm gonna be annoyed. I shouldn't just teleport up my arse. Fair enough. See, this is I kind of wish I actually put points into night speed or burst of speed, whatever it's called again. Oh, HK, what are you?
Acknowledgement.
No, you're right there. That's fine. Yeah, I wish I put stuff in a burst of speed just so I can actually move around a bit faster. This way. I've not been near in a while. Have you got anything? Let me see your inventory. Just see if you've got anything. Ooh. I'll take all of them, please. Dark Jedi Master Robe, Jedi Master Robe. Parts. I'm going to take all them. Can't hit the button fast enough. I really can't hit fast enough. There we go. Sentinel, Guardian, armor. Crystals. None that I need. Dexterity. Constitution. Why is that shaking like a madman? Give credits 200,000. This function is not found. Oh, it's not. There's no space. Give credits 200. There we go. Should have gotten them. Yeah, I did. Right, that's fine. I only did that now before anyone has a hissy fit. So I don't have to do it on Korriban, because I have no doubt next time I record I'd forget that goddamn code. Because as you can see, I almost forgot it right there. What time is it? Right, that's fine. Oh, I'm doing this really late in the day to record, and it's annoying me. I should have done this earlier. Alright, let's go have a chat with some of our people.
Yeah, what do you want?
Do you have any more war stories?
I was one of the best youth warriors in the clan Ordo in my time. No one before me had mastered the power of our basilisk war droids as quickly as I had. Except Mandalore himself, of course. In those days, we were sweeping across the Outer Rim, destroying all who fought us. Young Mandalores would prove themselves in real combat with unknown opponents above 1,000 worlds. Each brought back stories of his achievements.
Yeah, let's just hear your story.
I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I would go ahead of the first wave to find enemies in the thickest fighting. I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with a basilisk thrumming beneath me, my heart racing with fear of the coming battle. Every new warrior has to fear to understand how to beat it. You must know that. The doors opened in front of me, and the air was sucked out of the drop bay, scattering crystals of frozen vapor across my path. I can't describe what it feels like to look directly down at a world, falling continuously as you circle it, with barely 15 centimeters of armor plate protecting you. When the magnetic locks disengaged on my droid, I plunged out of the drop bay towards the battle that waited below. I don't remember. It doesn't matter anyway. That world's dead now. The exhilaration, the euphoria I felt as I streaked into the atmosphere, dodging self-guided projectiles and beam weapons, was unmatched. An 80-kilometer plunge through the atmosphere, dodging and weaving, the outside of my armor glowing like the sun with the heat of re-entry. And with barely 30 meters to spare, I twisted and skimmed the surface, firing at the giant beam generators that were in my path. The explosion from that sent shock waves that leveled the entire complex around it. It was the moment of my life.
I want a Basilisk Road droid.
I'll never forget those times. But things are different now. We can't go on fighting the way we did. There are too few of us left now. But I really don't want to talk about this anymore. I trust I've satisfied your curiosity for now. Is there something else you want to know?
Nothing more.
Your choice.
Thank you. Is there any more stories you can tell me?
Yeah, what? You want another war story, huh? You want to hear about some other world getting wasted, eh? I knew you were the type. Your stagnant republic has never seen some of the strange creatures and races we fought on the Outer Rim in those years. And you never will now. If a world isn't strong enough to defend itself, it's basically forfeit. But this story is about something a little different. We were going through the asteroid fields of the Crispin system at the very edge of the galaxy, playing with the pirates and smugglers we found there. The main
playing with
the
them.
Crispin system consists of mainly small rocks covered in frozen methane gas shells, and the pirates were using them for cover. Ha! I remember using a thermal generator to cause the outer layer of one of the asteroids to vaporize in a picosecond. It blew out and shredded the 3 smugglers using it for cover. But that was a mistake. The asteroid I had targeted was smaller than most, maybe a dozen meters on a side. On the outside, it looked the same as any other, just a ball covered in frozen gas. But something must have been inside it, something inactive in the cold. The heat of my blast might have triggered something or woken something up. After I'd hit it, spots of light and heat appeared all over the thin shell, still covering it, evaporating the gases. What lay underneath looked like some sort of rocky growth. A deformed rock, pitted by scores of micrometeorite scars. I think something even older might have been inside that.
Oh, what they called. I know exactly what he's talking about. I'm sure this leads into... Well, it doesn't lead into, because you don't hear about anything, but what they called. There's a species in an expanded universe that, like, the non-canon side of it, that used natural shit. Fucking... Oh, I know what I'm trying to say. Can't remember it. Was it the Yuzhongval? Something like that? Fuck, I cannot remember. That's gonna piss me off.
Maybe, but maybe not. It started rotating faster and faster as we watched it. After a second, it started spraying fire, thermal projectiles that melted our armor like wax. We were caught completely by surprise. Before we could counterattack, it fled at an incredible speed. We couldn't catch it, but we could follow its hyperspace wake. We followed its trail as far as we could, heading away from the galactic core. When it finally led beyond the edge of our galaxy, we abandoned our efforts. Anything that wants to commit suicide in that great void is not worth our trouble trying to catch. That's the only story I have for now. I'll tell you some more stuff later if we get the chance. Is there something?
No, that's good.
Your choice.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what that's meant to be. Any more?
Yeah, what do you...
No, no more yet.
Your choice.
I'm sure that's what it is. It might be them. Yuzhongval, yeah, because they use natural stuff. Like, their ships are all, like, natural. Same with their armor and their weapons. They're all, like, living creatures or stuff like that. I don't know a lot about them, so don't quote me on that.
Statement. Affirmative. Request.
Let's get started.
Statement. And now
Yeah, it worked.
fire the last 3 relays. Access complete. Statement. It appears that my previous owner was a human senator on the planet Coruscant, a man of importance who obviously appreciated quality craftsmanship. Answer. It does not seem so, Master. No. He required a protocol droid only and wanted one as cheaply as possible. I do not know who sold me to him. I do remember that I was very pleased to be the property of a senator. One of his assistants discovered my assassination functions later through questioning. The assistant was quite alarmed and told the senator I should be scrapped quickly to avoid a scandal. Naturally, the senator had me eliminate the fool. Observation. Senators are not nice, Master. They are either on top of the game or yesterday's news. My master told me that frequently, you see. I was most proud to have partaken in the political system of the galaxy. During the time my owner possessed me, he gained significant rank. Given time, I believe he could have become Chancellor. I even eliminated a few key opponents that he did not ask for. Freebies, if you will.
Freebies, fuck's sake. I love HK.
Answer. Certainly, why not? I am an intelligent droid, you know. I see an opportunity, and I take it. And my master was most pleased with my work. Observation. I think he would have done far better had he not allowed his use of me to become personal. He set me on his wife. Answer. I am unsure. The human was most agitated and angry. I believe his wife had done something that had displeased him greatly. I was to go to their summer estate and terminate his wife, along with whatever male companion I discovered there. Statement. I have no idea, Master. Cheating seems to be a relevant term only when one is caught in the act. Otherwise, it is viewed as intelligence. No? I journeyed to the southern continent, but it appeared my master was not far behind me. Apparently, he regretted his activation of the protocol. When I found the wife and her companion, I proceeded to launch my attack, but my master interposed his own body and was destroyed. It was rather a strange meatbag thing to do, do you not agree? Naturally, I shut myself down, my master being terminated.
Two masters killed. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a good cycle that's going on for me, you know? It seems like I'm eventually going to reach my expiry date for him.
Observation. I find that unlikely. Perhaps he was more concerned that the death of his wife would be more likely traced back to him. Observation. Only so far, Master. There are still more memories not recovered, remember? Statement. I believe the senator's wife was unsure what I was or what to do with me. It was she who sold me to the corporate officer, an acquaintance. Answer. As previously, I have found a few more programs which will enhance my performance. A most gratifying discovery, in fact. There is still nothing from previous memories uncovered. With luck, I will discover...
Okay, let's see if we can do another
Statement.
one.
Affirmative. Statement. And now,
Yay.
why access complete. I have accessed
Prior to the center, let's go.
Answer. It appears that previous to my ownership by the senator, I was the property of one Bochaba the Hutt on the planet Slaheron. Answer. It does not appear so, or at least Bochaba was not my first owner. He purchased me from somewhere else. My memories tell me that, for a time, Bochaba was one of the most feared gangsters on Slaheron. I helped him with this reputation greatly. Over a span of 1 year, I terminated a grand total of 322 sentient meatbags.
It's quite a body count for a year.
Contracts made Bochaba very wealthy. Statement. Should I, Master? I had no reason to terminate those targets. It was not my decision. I am the weapon, not the wielder. Answer. That is correct, Master. I do enjoy my work, though my past owners have enjoyed utilizing my functions far more. Strictly speaking, one meatbag is the same as another. Anything I do is in support of my master. It was unfortunate but inevitable that eventually Bochaba would overstep his bounds. I had just cleared 2 Hutt households when the exchange retaliated. Statement. I was not even present when my old master was assassinated. I did appreciate the artistry behind his demise upon my return, however. Answer. Allow me to say that I have little doubt that residents of that sector were fishing pieces of Bochaba out of their soup for weeks afterward.
Christ.
At any rate, I quickly shut down upon my master's death. The rival Hutt claimed me along with my master's other possessions. Observation. If that Hutt had only known my true function, he surely would not have sold me to a senator he bribed regularly.
I should dismantle you. No, I'm not going to do that.
Observation. It would have suited my character, Master. I have enjoyed my existence since, more or less, so I do not miss it. Answer. Negative, Master. As well, I believe I can restore several contemplative. I wonder how...
Yay! Okay, let's see if we can do another one. I'm really not saying
HA-47 is
much.
ready to serve, Master.
I'm really not saying much this episode because I'm just letting them talk. But hey ho, it means you guys get to hear some more random banter from these guys. I'm gonna try again. Let's get started.
And now
success again. Yes.
the last. Access complete. I have recovered the last of my deleted memory, Master. Unfortunately... Answer. As I did inform
It's
you,
still locked within my
Master,
core.
the majority
There's
of my
appropriate
memory
stimuli.
is still locked within my core.
So there's
That
something.
can only be accessed by the appropriate, and I have no idea what.
So basically, there's something else in the game you have to do to trigger the final memory for HK.
Correction. That would actually be my first owner, Master. The first I can remember. I had completed an assassination in Mandalorian space, though I have no knowledge of what my target was or who sent me. Regardless, my motor function had been damaged, and I could not return to wherever I had been sent from. A Mandalorian soldier claimed me as booty, I believe. He repaired me, poorly I might add, and proceeded to use my assassination protocol to raise his rank. Query. Do you not have enemies that you would desire eliminated, Master? If my protocol still worked, would you not use it? Statement. If you say so, Master. At any rate, it seems that my Mandalorian owner finally decided to send me against Mandalore himself. My poorest performance, sadly. Answer. I was captured by this Mandalore during the attempt. He was able to reverse my programming and send me after my own master. It was quite distressing. There was little I could do. Needless to say, I dispatched the Mandalorian soldier efficiently. Once I deactivated, I believe I eventually ended up on the black market and was sold to the Hutt on Slaheron. My darkest day. Objection. That is so unfair, Master. Have I not brought you a great deal of satisfaction? Statement. You are a very harsh master, Master. I like you.
It's not how I expected the dialogue to go there.
Answer. There are a few Mandal beyond that, Master.
So I think that's it. I think that's all I can do.
Statement. Negatory. I believe that there are no further. Those are protected. The only way those memories.
Okay, so that's been done with HK. I'm going to give that a little quick save. Mission I'm done with. I don't need to talk to her. Let's talk to Juhani.
How may I be of What is it? Well, I mentioned before that my parents had fled to Taris. Perhaps I can tell you about that. In the early days of the Mandalorian War, there had been fighting closer to the Outer Rim worlds. Cathar was there, yes. My people had a great reputation as warriors, and that appealed to the Mandalore version of honor. They sought to test themselves against us, I think. Test themselves by bombing our world, slaughtering my people while they slept or while they ran. They swooped down from space across the world, firing at anything that moved. They used ships in space to destroy all orbital facilities and bombard the surface. We did resist, and in spite of their violent attack, we did stave them off for quite a while. But in the end, we were doomed. We were not members of the Republic. Cathar was beyond the edge of the Republic, in the Outer Rim. And besides, they could not have known. Our interstellar communications were the first things the Mandalores hit. All other short-range communicators were jammed. We were on our own. We knew what was coming. We had fought the Mandalorians in the First War against Exar Kun and the Sith. We knew there would be no mercy for us. The most we could do was pack the few of our people who survived onto what few ships remained and send them off into space as fast as they could. Most did not make it. My parents carried me as a baby with them and were lucky enough to escape. They fled as far as they were able and eventually settled on Taris. They could stand running no further, I think. But Taris was a horrible choice. Dominated by humans, intolerant of other species, it made everyday life unnecessarily hard. My father turned to stimulants. He spent much of his time in local bars and dives. But we are warriors. It runs through our blood. And when he was on stims, he became foolish. He let his warrior nature get the best of him. So he would get intoxicated, and he would fight. And finally, one day, he would die. Killed by a man who provoked him into a fight and killed him like an animal. I am sorry. I cannot talk about this any longer right now.
That's understandable. I don't like Johanna all that much, but her story does get quite sad. It's a shame.
How may I...
You can talk at all?
What? After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her. When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day. She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris. They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credits for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians. The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream. I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine, and we both know what has happened since then. I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you, but for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
Okay.
How may I
Can
be of
you
assistance?
talk anymore?
What is...
No.
Of course.
I think it's just Karth and Bastila I left to chat with.
Yes, what's in... To think that I once looked up to these two as the best that humanity had to offer. Now I'd like nothing more than to put a blaster to both their heads. Although I suppose that only Malik is left, isn't he? Turned on his own master. Not that Revan didn't have it coming. Typical for their kind, I guess. No, not personally. They aided the Republic during the Mandalorian Wars. They were heroes. Without them, the Mandalorians would have finished.
That's not spelled right.
In the fleet, we didn't see much of the Jedi, and I only met Malik once, but I was impressed by him. I guess that just shows how much the dark side can change someone. Nobody does. When they left after the Mandalorian Wars ended, they were Jedi. When they returned, they were something else. I used to think that it was a fancy name for something that I see every day. Corruption is everywhere. People are greedy and stupid and do horrible things. I'm starting to think it's different for the Jedi, however. That there's this evil watching them, waiting for its chance. You have so much courage and strength in you, yet somehow I have no trouble imagining it differently, like the flip side of a coin. It's not just you, it's Bastila as well. She's so intense. And I don't pretend to know much about the Force, but I know evil. No, of course not. All I'm saying is that when you have so much power, the stakes are higher. I can only imagine the kind of conflict that goes on inside you. Well, neither you nor Bastila are fully trained on how to handle your power. I'm just concerned at what might come. Oh, and that's not what I wouldn't want to see you hurt, either of you. I suppose finding the star maps is more important than your training and your safety. I just hope there isn't a price for you to pay.
Oh, Karth, you're such a little nice guy, aren't you?
Yes, what's on your mind? Oh, it's nothing, sorry. I told you my wife died 4 years ago. I've just been trying to remember what she looked like. It shouldn't be so difficult. I can remember things about her, things she did, the way she smiled, what her hair smelled like. Our last fight, just not her face. I try and hold it in my head, but it's gone. I know, is that strange? Maybe I shouldn't be talking to you about this. But I should be able to remember her face. It's frustrating. I feel like I'm losing her. It must look really strange for me to be obsessing like this still. You must think I'm incredibly stupid. Well, I suppose you're probably right, but I have to do it anyway. The only thing that's kept me going since she died has been the need to find Saul and kill him. It's better to think about that than anything else. If I can do that, then maybe I can let her go. Let it all go. If we encounter Saul, if we ever have the chance, promise me that I'll be the one to kill him. I have to settle this. I need to. Thank you. I guess there's really nothing else to say.
Oh, Karth, come on. You're better. You're the better man. Do you have anything else to say? Nope.
You got it.
What about you, Bastila?
How can I help? I do. I've been trying to come up with the best way to say this for some time, but I suppose I should just come out and say it. The truth is, I have come to depend on you. Not just for the sake of the mission, but for my own sake as well. I'm glad you're with us. Well, yes. Surely that's not so surprising. No, I'm not. Why must you make this so difficult for me? Can't you just accept a simple compliment? I see. Is there nothing I can do to make it up to you? I would rather we were friends. I know my manner can be a bit taciturn. I know you must be getting sick of my lectures about the dark side and everything else. I spent all my years being hounded by my instructors, being told so often how gifted and important I was until I was sick of it. I remember when I was younger, I used to swear that I would never become as self-absorbed and stodgy as the Jedi Masters. It's ironic, really. That's kind of you to say, but I know for myself it's not really true. Being controlled has kept everyone around me at an arm's length. Even those like yourself who are most in need of my understanding and compassion. But maybe it's time to change that. You deserve to know how much I respect and admire you. I just thought I should tell you. Well, that was not nearly so difficult as I feared. Thank you for hearing me out. I feel much better, but enough soul-searching for now.
Thank you, Bastila, for the compliment. I love messing around with Bastila. I should have picked the other thing.
How can I help?
Alright.
Then I suggest...
Well, I said we were going to go to Korriban, and we didn't actually go to Korriban, like, at all. We literally just completed 2 tiny quests by talking to someone, went onto the ship, and talked to our squad mates. But hey, that's not a problem. It means we've caught up with everything that our squad has to say. So, I'm going to give that a quick save. Not a quick save, I wanted to do an actual save. This one. So yeah, do a quick save. Well, not a quick save, but a quick save. Yeah, never mind, doesn't matter. But anyway, thank you all for watching this episode, and I hope to see you all in the next one.